गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. We are in Kathopanishad and we have concluded the Upanishad, but we are on the last three verses. Technically the Upanishad has concluded, but we will see what these three verses say. So last week we saw the verse, where are we? यदा सर्वे प्रभिद्यन्ते हृदयस्येह ग्रन्थयः अथमर्त्योऽमृतो भवति एतावध्यनुशासनम्. When or at that moment when in this life one is able to pierce through, break through, annihilate all the granthis in totality, then such a person becomes immortal. And what is that? And what is that granthi? The granthi was, we talked about as the avidya kama karma, or the granthi of body identification. And that identification, why has it happened? Why has it come about? Why are we, who are essentially the infinite consciousness, why are we considering ourselves to be finite? Why? Because of forgetfulness of our infinite consciousness. What does that infinite consciousness? So that granthi, because of which we have forgotten our essential nature, is called Rudra Granthi. Then what is that? That ignorance of our essential nature leads to desire for the world, or desire to or attachment with this body. So what is this attachment with this body, and then thinking and collecting memories and etc. etc. I like this, I like that, I don't like this, I don't like that, and we keep going through life. This is the Brahma Granthi. The mind is the Brahma Granthi. So we have got three states, no? Gross, subtle and causal. Causal is Rudra Granthi, subtle is Brahma Granthi, and gross is Vishnu Granthi. And naturally, actions lead this body into activity. That activity is Vishnu Granthi. And we have to go beyond these three. Only then one can be declared as immortal. Declared by whom? Not the person who was doing the sadhana, not the person who has pierced through, because once he pierces through the three granthis, or through the intellect is another name for the granthi, where all the desires lurk. We saw that in the Bhashya. Once we have broken through, cut through the why intellect? Because intellect is that faculty within us which is convinced that I was born, which is convinced that I will die one day, which is convinced that the creation was there before me, which is convinced that God is or God is not, I can or I cannot, I have the capability or I don't have the capability, I'm happy or I'm unhappy. Uh, all these conclusions. A poor man can also be rich, and a rich man can also be poor. It's all what your attitude is, isn't it? So it's the intellect which decides that. So what do we want to do? We want to destroy, annihilate, dissolve, whatever way you want to use terminology you want to use. We want to dissolve the intellect, pierce the intellect so that no conviction is left behind. Convictions are born only through intellect, but also, see, everything is mind. In the mind, all the data is coming. In the mind, all the data is coming. Then, where is the intellect then?
Processing.
No. That, one way of putting it, that data which is conclusive in nature is called intellect. Because thoughts are random. So many thoughts are coming into you. But the moment you look at him, you say, this is Nagaraj. Concluded. Or anything. This is a wall. This is a curtain. Or this is a lamp. The moment you conclude anything, it is intellect. That very moment, that part of the mind has behaved as the intellect. Another way of putting, there are different ways, there is no straight answer. Another way of putting it, all the data is coming in the mind. Who's owning it? I am owning it. I is appearing in the intellect because it can reflect only in the intellect. See, as the consciousness reflects in the intellect as I, in the mind as, in the intellect as the subject, and in the mind as object. Understand? So again, so we need to, so what are we looking for in spirituality? We want freedom of I, or we want freedom from I?
Freedom from I.
Freedom from. Freedom of I you are getting every day when you go to sleep. Freedom of I, the moment you go from waking to dream, you have got freedom from the waker I. But you replace it with dream I, then you replace it with deep sleep I, then you replace it with meditator I. So you have got freedom from I many times. But we want freedom from I per se. Once and for all. And for that to happen, we have to pierce through this, what we say? Through this intellect. We did this, isn't it? Yada sarve, and this is the way to, the question that was asked was kada punaha kamanam mulatah vinasha iti uchyate, that, but how do we destroy all the desires from the root? Because even, what are weeds like? You pluck them out, if the root remains, even a tiny bit of the root hair remains, it comes out, becomes another weed comes up. This is my contemplation every week when I do the weeding. Now again I am seeing all those places where I took it out, again it is there. Then what do? I go and buy some more mulch and put it on top of it so it doesn't get any air or sunshine or anything. For some time it will stay, but then slowly, as the mulch breaks down, again the weeds start coming out. How do I break? Even if I put poison, still they come. They have become so hardy. They may not come for 2-3 months, but after that they will come again. So, How do I destroy the desires, kamanam mulataha, from the root? And this was the way, this was the prakriya. This was that we have to pierce through the intellect. Who is contemplating? Who is discriminating? Intellect. And you are telling intellect to destroy itself. Who likes to destroy themselves? So it requires great courage. It requires a deep conviction and faith that the truth that I am is beyond intellect. And intellect has to be convinced about it. If it is not convinced, it will find n number of ways to keep you in the loop. N number of ways. 167, 168. And then towards the end, it was told that Anushasanam Anushishtihi Upadeshah Sarva Vedantanam iti Vakyasheshaha. This is the final instruction of Vedanta. When we say Vedanta, what does Vedanta mean? Upanishad means Vedanta. Veda Anta. Remember, Vedas are a mixture of karma, single pointedness, upasana, and knowledge, Vedanta. And what is this knowledge? Majority of the Upanishads, Vedas, they are composed of the karma kanda. Then another 27-28% of the Vedas are composed of upasana. And only 1%, 0.5% of the entire Vedas is composed of Upanishads. So they are hidden within the karma kand. They are hidden within the upasana. So you have only a person who is seeking, who is oriented, the words sound the same as if you are invoking the Lord, but you have to find out it is the Upanishad. So they are interspersed within the Vedas. And just like karma is done for what purpose? Purification. Purification of what? Purification of what? Karma is done for purification of manasa, kaya, vacha, or vacha, kaya, or manasa, kaya, vacha, manasa, or karma. Who does the karma?
The individual.
The doer does the karma. Karta does the karma. So why are we doing the karma? To dissolve to purify the karta. To purify the karta. What is purification of karta? That he stops thinking about the world, and through the karma he is able to latch on to the divine. Whatever the idea of divine, it can be with form, without form, doesn't matter. When that happens to him, he comes to the upasana. In fact, while he is doing the karma kand, upasana comes in between every now and then. But when he really becomes focused, the karma may continue, may not continue, no guilt. But he moves on to single pointedness. He moves on to fantastic imagery. He moves on to the chanting of the mantras to make the mind single pointed. When he does that, as he is becoming more and more focused, eventually he ends up inquiring, what is this going on? What is this, what I am chanting, Ganapati Atharva, or Narayana Upanishad, or Narayana Suktam, or Durga Suktam, etc. What is it? He starts understanding. And slowly, from before the world as an objective experience, now his mind has become single pointed on the divinity as the objective experience. And every now and then, when the divinity goes away, his imagined divinity, his imagined, because his objective uh, take on the divinity, when that, because of the single pointed mind, sometimes there is gap in that in his objectification. Then he says, but what is it? There is something more. And then he starts understanding the Upanishads. Before he was chanting the Upanishads just like that, because Upanishads can be applied to divinity also, to the Lord also. Then he starts, Acha, what is this? And suddenly he becomes available to the Upanishads. And before, when he was doing Karma Kanda, lot of activity at Kaya, Vacha, Manasa. In Upasana Kanda, little bit activity in Kaya, more activity in Vacha and Manasa. As he comes to Upanishads, now more activity in Manasa, less activity in Kaya, less activity in Vacha, because only Shravanam is going on. And as the mind, now he has weaned himself away from body, Kaya, from speech, that is the senses and the organs of actions, and he has come to land himself in the mind or intellect. Your mind will take it as intellect, Manasa, and there he starts appreciating the dictates of the Upanishad. But how does mind function? Mind functions through words, through alphabets, through words or alphabets. Upanishads use alphabets which combine to make words, which combine to make shlokas, but they take you beyond the words. They indicate you the destination which is beyond the words. That destination which is beyond the words is called Vedanta. Vedanta, Vedanta. And if you are attached to the world, if you are attached to your body, and you are listening to Vedanta and you are contemplating and meditating, you are making a fool of yourself, frankly, because nothing is going to happen. If you are something is happening, it is only your fanciful imagination which is giving you the mind is keeping you in the loop of nice experiences and saying, oh, you are meditating, you are a great meditator, you are a Vedanti. Basic requirement, you have to truly be subjective in our approach, because that itself is a grace, where our attention from objective words, objective forms, comes to objective words. From objective words, the mind is going to think. Its job is to think. Sometimes it thinks, sometimes it doesn't think, sometimes it thinks. This is what is happening all the time. Sometimes there is a thought, sometimes there is no thought. So why do I want to force all the thoughts away? I don't want to force the thoughts away. Then what do I want to recognize? That I am, in spite of manifestation of thoughts or non-manifestation of thoughts, I am not affected, I am not dependent, I am not enslaved, I am not hooked, I am not disturbed, I am not agitated, I am not anything on account of thoughts. Just like water is not influenced by anything, any wave, we have to come to realize that. This is where Vedanta is taking us. This is Veda, not taking us. This is Vedanta. Upanishads are taking us there through the various words. And what is that state of Vedanta? If you want to talk about it passively, here it was told, piercing through the intellect, destroying all the desires, is equal to Vedanta. Then why are you not conclusively saying this is the way, this is the What can you talk conclusively about that which is beyond the word and beyond the comprehension of the mind? What can you talk about it? Then how will I come to know? By being it. By being it. Not by being convinced of it. That is ho gaya, over. By direct perception, by directly experiencing yourself without any medium. That is the merging less merging. Merging without merging, or experience less experience. This is where every Upanishad is bringing us. Picture clear hai? Then here it says what? Anushasanam shishtihi upadeshaha. This is the final instruction. Anushasanam, instruction to the Shishya, Sarva Vedantanam iti Vakya. And everything that is beyond this instruction, what is the Vedanta? Vakya Shesha. Whatever is, when Vakya is over, when the word is over, what is left is Vedanta. Vakya Shesha. And that you are. That we are. That each one of us is. Realize and be happy. Did we do the Bhashya, Sambandha Bhashya? No. First paragraph we did, but we can. Nirasta Shesha Vishesha Vyapi Brahmatma Pratipatya प्रभिन्न समस्ता विद्यादि ग्रंथे जीवित एव ब्रह्म भूतस्य विदुषो न गतिर्विद्यत इति उक्तम अत्र ब्रह्म समष्णुत इति उक्तवात्. Is in him in whom there is complete absence of all adjectives. We did this one paragraph, but just to recap so that we are on the same thought, everyone. So in that, in which there is complete absence of all adjectives. What is your adjective apart from being a woman? All other names that people call you by. Usha, wife, sister, daughter, auntie, ammamma, etc., etc. All are adjectives. So what are the adjectives of the truth? The word truth itself is an adjective of that reality. Satchidananda is the adjective of the reality. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa is the adjective of the reality. Ekam Brahma, Sarvam Akhilam Brahma is an adjective of the reality. So here what is saying? Where that in which all adjectives are absent. When will adjectives come? Only when something is known through reference. Then adjectives will come. See? Do you need any object to see if your eyes are open in a pitch dark room? If there are no objects available to see, you can't see because the room is pitch dark. Because you can't see any object in the pitch dark room, do you come to the conclusion, I don't have eyes?
No.
Then what is the conclusion?
There is no object.
But you don't doubt your vision, isn't it? You know you have the eyes, Because there are no thoughts, because you can't remember, because you have gone beyond words, Vedanta, does it mean that the truth is not? We are talking about from nihilist philosophy. No, you are that. From nothing, nothing cannot be a source of everything. Nothing cannot be a source of everything. Self is. So here, what is that self? We are not going to call what it is. Here it is saying that in which, because yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasa. Upanishads again and again are, Taittiriya Upanishad says truth is that. Now again you called it truth only, by name only. But what is that truth? Where no word reaches. But you indicated that by the word truth, or you indicated that by the word that. Tattvamasi, tat. Again you indicated it with tat. Some word, without word you cannot indicate. But what are we indicating here? That which is beyond. That which is beyond the grasp of the intellect. Don't try to grasp it objectively. Don't fall into the trap of intellect trying to grasp the self. It cannot. Somewhere the penny must drop that I am in my presence. These words will come afterwards. But you will fall into the disposition that in my presence the words are happening and they are unhappening. Then they are happening, then they are unhappening. Just like the waking, dream, and deep sleep is happening and unhappening, but someone else knows, no? Waker has got no entry in the other two states. Dreamer has got no entry in the other two states. The sleeper also doesn't have entry in the other two states. Then who is saying that I know that waking, dream, and deep sleep came and went every day? It has to be other than the waker, dreamer, and sleeper. It has to be. Dvau Suparna. One is established in himself, the other fellow keeps pecking on some in the waking world, in the dream world, and in the no world. See? So just now when you could appreciate that one in who knows that the waking, dream, and deep sleep come and go is always there. He has never gone. Otherwise, how could he know? And you forget him and you become the waker. You forget him and you become the dreamer. You forget him and you become the sleeper. When you remember, if you know him, then waking, dream, sleep are just three states which will come and go and you will be untouched by them. Without, you will go through the waking experience, the mind will go through the waking experience without falling to become the waker. The consciousness is not falling down to, reflection will happen. Reflection will happen. A realized master, if he is in an ashram or he is a grahastha, if the student comes, Maharaj, he will respond. If he is a grahastha, a child comes and says, a mama or a papa, response will be automatic. Who is responding? The mind is responding. It will happen. That you cannot. But there is no precipitation of the role. There is no precipitation of getting hooked onto the role. I should put it that way. Breathing will happen, seeing will happen, hearing will happen, but no seer, no hearer, no thinker, no Then what is that? Then who is responding? It's automatic. It's a mirror getting reflected. So here he says, in that in whom all the Visheshanas, Vishesha Vyapi Brahmatma Pratipatya Prabhinna Samasta, and he says, are absent, that all pervading Brahma recognize, and that person has recognized this all pervading Brahman. Why all pervading? Because there is no what do you call, there is no what did I say just now? There is no adjective to what does adjective do? Tell me. Let's go into that. What is the role of an adjective?
Indicates the nature of the object.
It enhances the noun. It enhances the noun. So, round moon. Moon you can say, but round. Now suddenly you have added a quality to it. Bright moon. Brightness has been added to it. Bright and round moon. Glowing moon. Cool moon. All these are adjectives to. So when you have taken away all references, he who has taken away all references, I am, the self is, because it is infinite, because gaya kam se. Self is, now there was emptiness and I was still there, gone. Can't say anything. Either you are or you are not. The only way to put it across is the way Upanishads are putting it. That is the best way. And therefore, because there is no reference, there is no quality, there is no attribute, therefore, that which does not have, we saw that in previous one of the verses, if there is no quality, there is no parameter. If I say round moon, I have created a parameter. If I say bright moon, I have created a quality called light and it has its pervasiveness. It is not infinite. It has its qualities also have their drawbacks. But what is the drawback? Either the quality is finite or it is infinite. Or total, I should say, not infinite, or total. But what is the truth? Beyond finite and total, it is infinite. And therefore, in infinite, nothing sticks. And therefore, because you cannot put or stick or paste a quality to that infinite, therefore, by nature, it is all pervasive. And why can't you put any quality to it? Because on one hand we are saying that it is nothing can stick to it, it has no qualities. Second thing, we told you before that it is beyond words. You have to put from different Upanishads, you have to take it together. It is beyond words. Third, it cannot be understood by the mind, intellect. It cannot be comprehended by the mind. You cannot imagine it. And therefore, if you cannot imagine anything, if you cannot be, what did I say about intellect? You cannot be convinced about it. You have become convinced that truth is, but you have now come to a conclusion that word is not it. You have refined yourself thinking to such an extent that you have come to realize that word cannot illuminate the truth. The word truth cannot illuminate the truth. Because if I am thinking of the word truth to illuminate the truth, I am thinking objectively. And the day, by grace of God, this clicks, suddenly you go beyond the word. It's just flipping. That's it. Instead of looking, suddenly in front of you everything is happening. What is that happening? That happening is, something is not. Thought is and thought is not. That is the happening. Happening is not only thought. No. Manifestation and unmanifestation is the happening. So whether you take it at the deep meditative level or you take it right now also, same phenomena is going on. Word is happening, then word is not happening. Then word is happening, then word is not happening. Seeing is happening, the moment you blink, seeing is not happening. Breathing is happening, in breath, then it stops. Then in breath is not happening. Then out breath is happening. Then out breath is not happening. In breath is happening. Everything is like that. That is the flux. That is the throb. You are going to the source of the throb. And that source of the throb, if you want to go to the source of the waves, you have to drop the waveness. If you want to go to the source of the throb of I am, I have to go beyond this throb of I am. So he who has done that and recognized that this all-pervasive truth is the self within me, this all-pervasive truth, when we look at the world, what is the source of this whole world? That Paramatma, that Brahman. Where is he? He who has recognized that Brahman to be the Atma, because this world also includes this body, breath, mind, intellect. So if that Brahman is the source, is the essence of the whole world, then will he not be the essence of me, of this body also, equipment? He will be. And what is that source? Oh, that is called as Atma. And he has come to realize the Atma directly. And as a result of this Atma Gyan, the abidance in the Atma Swarup, all his avidya, here he says, with avidya granthi, avidyadi granthe hai, jivita eva brahma bhutasya vidusho na gatir vidyata iti uktam atra brahma samashnuta iti uktavat. So the avidya, etc., meaning avidya, kama, karma, the various, the grandmother, daughter, and the granddaughter, all three are gone, are destroyed. कहाँ गया? हाँ, these are the three granthis. I explained yesterday in detail how the different granthis can be looked at. So the granthis are broken. Granthi means, what did we say the granthi was? A knotless knot. K-N-O-T. Knotless knot. And if everything is nothing but that one reality, then how come in that reality avidya granthi can express itself? If everything is water, then how come there is a granthi of a wave? But it's happening. What can you do? You are touching, feeling, tasting, etc. Everything is water, but you are calling it a wave. That is the granthi. You are touching, feeling, tasting, seeing, hearing, through the five senses, through the five organs of action, through the mind, through the intellect, every thought, aham, idam, individuality, totality, everything is that one Brahman. But you are not seeing it as Brahman, you are calling it, I am an individual, don't mess with me. I am an ignorant person, I want to realize. अब किसकी गलती है? We have only hoodwinked ourselves, and we ourselves are trying to remove the veil from our eyes. That is avidya. So until and unless, the only way to remove it from the root is by realizing the Atma. And in the right manner. Yesterday we told you, when the pot breaks, the space in the pot does not go and merge in the total space. It is the total space. When the wave dies, it does not merge into the waters. It is already the water. So nothing has happened to the water. It's only in your imagination that wave appeared, wave stayed, wave merged. But before the wave was water, during the wave was water, after the wave was water. If you want totality, before the wave the ocean was there, during the wave the ocean was there, after the wave the ocean is there. What has happened? Nothing has happened, yet everything is seen as happening. मजा देखो. Same is with waking dream and deep sleep. Same is with your thoughts. Same is with your breath. Same is with all your five senses. Same is with space-time objectivity. Everything seems to be happening, but nothing is happening. If you take that position. मजेदार है. And such a person in whom, as a result of Atma Sakshatkar, realization of that Sarvavyapi Brahman as Atma within him, at that very moment the granthis are cut asunder, meaning the Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, Rudra Granthi or Avidya Kam Karma. Yesterday I explained how these three itself, or waking dream and deep sleep. They are all similes. Three words, three names for the same thing in different ways. And once they are broken, since such a person, he, while living, attains to the Brahma Bhav. Attainment to this Brahma Bhav means he comes to be the Brahman. By whom? By the one who has realized. In this body, he doesn't have to wait for death to become one with reality. He doesn't have to have an experience of Saket or Kailash or Vaikuntha to now I have come here. Oh, I got all this is nice. No. So the one who comes to know Brahman in this manner alone has come to know Brahman. So knowing Brahman is being Brahman. And the one, when knowing is being, then Anand begins. Then Anand begins. And then it says that Vidusho na gatir vidyata iti uktamatra brahma samashnuta ityuktavat. And such an intelligent person or such a seeker or such a vidwan, he is not a reborn, he does not go anywhere. Normally what is our experience? That the breath has left the body, isn't it? At the time of death. Yesterday I explained the different places from where the breath can leave in the body. In this, if breath is leaving, you will go to some world. Because breath indicates movement. You will go somewhere. The soul will go somewhere. But if the breath doesn't leave only, then what will you do? It's not your problem. It's the problem of the people left behind. मरता भी नहीं है. Such a person is not born. Such a person does not go to any loka. Why? While living in this body, he had realized that he is Brahman. And what is the nature of Brahman according to Upanishad? We said it is Sarvavyapi. It is everywhere. It is all that there is. So where will he go? Because before the last breath, in other people, before what they call as death, he has come to realize that he is everything. There is nothing outside of him now. So where will he go? If there is no place to go, the breath will just like a wave appears in the waters, and again, when we think of the wave, then there is coming and going. But if that wave has realized that it is the infinite waters, will there be any coming and going for the wave? No. You are saying this is the form of the wave, but that wave which has come to know it is infinite waters, what is it considering itself as? Infinite, not the individual wave. It's considering itself as infinite. It's not seeing anything apart from itself. So if it's not seeing anything apart from itself, whom will it go to? There's no movement. There's no gati. And for gati, you need some energy, horsepower. That is our breath, pranas. And that is why when realized masters are, they when they conclude, they take samadhi, they are not called as dead. They are gone into samadhi. Everyone's body is cremated. Mahatma's body is not cremated. It is buried. Why? It is a living Brahman. All that has happened is body has stopped expressing life. That's all. But that Mahatma had come to realize that he is all that there is. That's it. So when you go to Gondavle, you go to Alandi, you go to Sivgad, you go to Shegaon, you go to Adi Shankaracharya, Kaladi. So many places we have been, so many Mahatmas, Samadhis we have been. There is a positive vibration there. Your mind automatically becomes calm, quiet, serene. Why? That person is not there anymore. Then why? Maybe some Mahatmas, even the body has been, he said, I want my body to be drowned or whatever. But where he meditated, there also same vibes are coming. How come? Because he has recognized he is all that there is. So there is no place that he is not. So this was told before in the 14th mantra. Then na tasya prana utkramanti brahmaiva san brahma api eti Brihadaranyaka Upanishad iti shrutyantara acha. Again Upanishad is quoted from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and here it says na tasya pranas, of such person, na tasya, his pranas, they do not utkramanti, they do not leave the body. If it is leaving the body, it is going somewhere. The soul is leaving somewhere. Where is it going? Wherever the destiny is going to take it. The balance sheet of his samskars, karmas. But you say, I have purified myself. Who are you to decide you have purified? If the result of that purification is you are closing your eyes and continuously thinking of Vaikuntha, or I'm going to Kailash and I'm going to go to and touch Kailash and I want to merge into Kailash, this is not realization, because you are still objective. Still objective. till here we did yesterday. Ye punar manda brahma vido vidyantara शीलिनश्च शीलिनः च ब्रह्मलोकभाजो ये च तद विपरीताः संसारभाजः तेषाम् एव गतिविशेष उच्यते. Now, big but. So, what was the destination of the previous people? Vidusha person, intelligent people, Uttam Purusha, Uttam seeker, that he comes to realize the Brahman as Atma and breaks through all the granthis, and thereafter there is no movement for him, there is no going and coming for him. He has conquered the cycle of birth and rebirth, because cycle birth and rebirth means movement of pranas. So all that is not possible for him. So he is abiding, he has become infinite. This is called as immortality. This is called as realization. Now, but those people, now the contrary, Manda Brahmagnani. So he has all the knowledge of the Upanishads, but he has not realized the goal of the Upanishads subjectively. That was about the realized master. Now we are coming to such a person who has all the knowledge of the Upanishads, absolute clarity, but is still looking at it objectively. See, going from objective to subjective approach is grace. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. This was a big challenge for me and my sister. One day, many years before, I'm talking about 1991, and I was sitting and writing, what is this subjective, objective, subjective, objective? And I am the subject, what is the object here? How can I be the object? This world is the object, I am the subject. What is the object? I am the subject. But it never clicked that I as a thought is also an object. I as a thought is also an object. Realizing this, you have heard it now, I have told you. But for it to click naturally on the seat of meditation is grace. It will only happen when no axe to grind in this world. Complete vairagya from this world. Then only it will happen. So, this is the problem here. Objectivity. Knowing everything but not being it. This is the Manda Brahmagnani. Words also used as such. And other intelligent people who call themselves intelligent but are very objective in their approach. Who are these who are objective in the approach? Those who do upasana and karma. So there are jnanis, they can also be objective in their approach. Upasana people are always objective in their approach. Karma kandis are grossly objective in their approach. Among them, jnanis may be less objective, but those who are objective, those on whom the grace has not fallen, they are the most miserable ones. They go around announcing, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. It's not. Those who have done the upasana, etc., such people, where do they go? They go to Brahma Loka Bhajo. They go to Brahma Lok. The maximum they can go to is the Virat Purush. The maximum they can go is to Hiranyagarbha. maximum. So even if we have, even if we have known the Upanishads, contemplated, understood, are very, very refined in our debates and arguments and everything. See, Ashtavakra and Varuna Samvad. Ashtavakra Gita is there, no? That was to Janak Maharaj. But before that, before Janak Maharaj accepted Ashtavakra as his guru, this Varuna, Vidwan, he was the son of Varuna. And his rule was, if you come, and he was the head of the department in Janaka's assembly. Everyone he used to invite everyone, come and debate with me. If you can't defeat me, you have to go to my father. Means commit suicide in the river. And even Ashtavakra's father had reached the same fate. And when Ashtavakra grew up, he said, let me find out who. And he went. See? So who is, in the end, he gets defeated by Ashtavakra. Because the moment he goes in, he is walking in a funny manner because all his limbs are unequal. And they started laughing. First question, first statement. Ashtavakra says, I thought I had come in an assembly of wise people, but I feel that I have come to the assembly of cobblers. They felt very affronted. How can you call us cobblers? If you laughed because this body was walking like this, your attention was on the skin. You are cobblers. Correct or not? If your attention was on the atman, then if I am the Ashtavakra, you are also Ashtavakra. Meaning of Ashtavakra, Vakra means crooked. And Ashta is 8. 8 place you are crooked. Everyone is. Don't worry. This is how the debate began. See?
What happened then, sir?
What happened? Then the debate began, and he couldn't, Varun, he could not explain what is Brahman. He had all the knowledge, but no subjective experience.
So
Ashtavakra, then he accepts. The Ashtavakra doesn't say, I defeated you. He accepts, I cannot answer. And he is ready to go into the river. He says, no, I don't want you to go in. What for your ego, what you have done, I don't have any ego. I don't want to kill someone because by your dying, I'm not going to be more or less. At that time, Varun Devta comes and brings back all the people who are dead. That's a different story, but here now we are talking about Manda Brahma Jnani. Manda Brahma Jnani. And they go to, they have the capacity only to go up to the Brahmalok. Brahmalok, another name of Brahmalok is Satyalok. The plane of existence of the Creator. Till there you can go. Another name we can call it is Hiranyagarbha. At a gross level you can call it as Virat Roop. There are different ways you can put it. So he's qualified only to go up to a Brahmalok and those And those and the other, that they said anya, other intelligent people who are still lost in karma, who are still lost in it should rain, those who are still lost in I want an intelligent child, an unheard of proposition that I want to be immortal with body, or etc. etc. Those who are still thinking of birth, death, afterlife, punya, papas, papa punya, sin and merit, those who are still lost in this, there's no mention for these people here. They continue in the same cycle. Phew. Phew. So if you want to achieve something in life, at least achieve Brahmalok. Purify yourself, make your mind single pointed and merge, keeping some destination in your mind. Yes, it is not liberation, but it is relative liberation. Why? Brahmaji's life is very long. Yours is only 100 years. His is how many? 14 kalpas. Each has 72 or 74 cycles of Chatur Yugas. Oh, so long. And he doesn't die. He only goes to sleep. When he goes to sleep, you will also go to sleep. You will become unmanifest. Till then, what you will do? Till then, you will be in his loka, like a divine being. Free from hunger, thirst, old age, disease, decay, death. Everything is available to you. You are of the nature of light there. Ye cha tad viparitaha, those who are even going up. So who are these? First was the Brahmagnani, second was Manda Brahmagnani. This Manda Brahmagnani goes to Brahmalok maximum. Now those who are even lesser than this Manda Brahmagnani, those self-proclaimed Gyanis, self-proclaimed, little bit they study or little bit upasana they do, little one or two siddhis they have, and suddenly they have become gurus. Those who are still, and what is their spirituality? Oh, I have realized myself, don't touch my feet, your energy will corrupt my energy. You come across such people. Even after I am sattvic, I don't eat food from tamasic people's hand, or in tamasic houses, in shudra houses or lower places, dirty places. I do not eat food. Brahmagnani has gone beyond sattva, rajas, tamas. These are the three granthis. Yesterday I explained. Gajanan Maharaj used to sit on the heap of dirty thrown out plates and feed the dog and eat himself also. Today I went for bhiksha to someone's place, and his father's father, he used to take, when they were young, by 9 years old, he had learnt Vishnu Sahasranam. By 12-year-old, Lalita Sahasranam. And he was telling my grandfather, he was such a disciplinarian for himself, not anyone else. But he says, life has been good. My parents left me some money, land, money is coming in. If I got a good life, I don't have to struggle, then what should I do? He, from morning 4 o'clock till 9 o'clock every day, he will not spend any time without studying some scripture, do his sadhana, do his little half an hour yoga, chanting of Bhagavad Gita, chanting of Narayaniam, chanting of Valmiki Ramayana. He has divided the day into various things. Every day the same thing. And at night, before going to sleep, 15 minutes, he'll tell one story to all the grandkids. And then go to sleep. But every day the same thing. Eat also the same thing. Not deviate from it. He says, if God has been so gracious to give me such a good life where I don't have to struggle. Everything is provided. I can't do this much and remember him. And he used to say, outside the temple, the banana leaves were thrown outside the annakshetra. There used to be one person sitting on the heap of the annakshetra on those banana leaves, collecting food from there. This is in, I don't know which city, Trivandrum or somewhere. So he said, do namaskar to that person. These fellows were small. Do namaskar, he is a Mahatma. And they used to think, Mahatma, it's such stinking pile and he's a Mahatma, but they had to do namaskar because grandpa told us to. Now they realize, after many years, then they realized that, oh, what grandpa was telling was really, great. So here, such people who are lost in the samsara, those who are lost in papa punya, those who are lost in this world and other worlds, there is no mention given in the Upanishad about such people. Why? They are lost cause. Kim chanyad agni vidya prushta prayukta cha. Did I read the last part? ये च तद विपरीताः संसार भाजः तेषाम एव गति विशेष उच्यते प्रकृतोत्कृष्ट ब्रह्म विद्या फल स्तुतये. So for these people, those who are lost in papa punya, those who are lost in this world and other worlds, for them now the next three stutis are being made. The what do you call? The verses are coming. Kim chan cha anyad agni vidya prushta prayukta cha. Apart from this, when asked by Nachiketa, the Yamraj had given him the Agni Vidya, and that Agni Vidya it was then named as Vaishwanara Agni to Nachiketa Agni. That was renamed by Yamraj by his name, seeing his single pointedness. And tasyaha cha falaprapti prakaraha vaktavyaha iti mantra arambaha. That Agni Vidya, that Agni which was talked about in the previous chapters, that Agni Vidya, how do we get the fruit of that Agni Vidya? And that was not told. Straight away the highest knowledge was given because the student was so adept. So when teacher told him Vaishwanara Agni, and then Nachiketa did not practice anything. But what is that Vaishwanara Agni, which was renamed as Nachiketa Agni? What is that Agni? Then if they don't mention that, then the Upanishad is incomplete. That is being told now. For that, this mantra is being we are starting this mantra. Tatra. So now what we want to say is this. Shatam chaika cha hridayasya nadyaha. Shatam chaika cha hridayasya nadyaha. Tasam murdhanam abhinisrutaika. Tasam murdhanam abhinisrutaika. Tayordhvam. What is it?
Tayodhamaya.
What is the word?
Tayodhamayanamrutatvam.
Ayanna.
Yes.
Mayanna. Tayordhvamayanna amrutatvameti. Tayordhvamayanna amrutatvameti. विश्वंगन्या उत्क्रमणे भवन्ति मन्या उत्क्रमणे भवन्ति टुगेदर शतं चैकाचहृदयस्य नाड्यः तासां मूर्धानम् अभिनिसृतैका तयोर्ध्वम् अयन्नम् अमृतत्वमेति विश्वंगन्या उत्क्रमणे भवन्ति. In this heart there are 101 nadis. Nadis are nerves. If you cut the body, you will not find them. These nadis are not anything physical. But in our Unani medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, homeopathic medicine, they can touch your pulse, or they can, but these are the places where the nadis are also going, and by just feeling that nadi, they can come to know what disease is troubling you, what imbalance is there, if it is a heart problem or a kidney problem or a lung problem. Or an adept person can immediately come to know. But these nadis, if you cut the body, you will not find them. But they are there. And out of all these nadis, there is one which has broken through the entire conglomeration of the nadis and separated itself and moved away from all of them. And then tayoho urdhvam mayan amrutam. So by that nadi which has broken through the skull and gone beyond, that is this here it is told that the one who uses that nadi to break through the fontanelle, yesterday I was talking about it, the one who, this is for those who are lost in the world. But while doing all this, you need, see, our scriptures don't leave anyone on the wayside. They have to take everyone. So this is for them. Hard work. Then what was Upanishad? Easy. But if we believe that we have to work hard, without hard work, how can you achieve anything? Lag jao phir. And what is that? Find that nadi first. Which is that nadi? That is called Sushumna nadi, which is the Urdhvagamini. And as she moves up and breaks through the fontanelle here, and it merges into the infinite, that such people are called to have gained the Atma Tattva. And I told you yesterday about the Paramahansa Yogananda. His body did not deteriorate after he left through the fontanelle. And such a person attains immortality. So, and anyone living by any other nadi, I gave you the example, through the genitals, through the anus, through the mouth, through the nabhi, through the eyes, through the nose, through the ears, through the wherever, whichever part of the body, it will lead to rebirth. It will lead to rebirth. Shatam, what is the word?
Which one?
No, the bhashya. Misprint is there with me. Shatam cha shata sankhya eka cha sushumna nama purushasya hridayat vinisruta nadya shirastasam madhye murdhanam bhitva Bhitva abhinusruta nirgata sushumna nama. Now they are going into Upanishads. This is the, I think this and Prashna Upanishad talks about this Sushumna Nadi. And here it says, from the heart of the Purusha, see, the spine is the entire, is the main trunk, and out of that all these nadis are coming out at different. When he's saying that from the heart, which is your heart? Some places they say behind the navel is the heart. Some places say the solar plexus is the heart. Some places say that the pituitary gland is the heart. So whichever way you take, it doesn't matter. But from that point, all the nadis are coming out. We'll take it from here, because Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. This is the heart, and from here all the various thousands of nadis are there. So you can even put it this way, that all the nadis, they from the pituitary gland, it goes down the spine. From that, all these various roots are, or the what do you call that? Nerves are coming out, nadis are coming out, and somewhere along out of them, they get collected here. Some of them, which one collected there? Now, Ida is also a nadi, Pingala is also a nadi, Sushumna is also a nadi, Kurma, we have the Pancha Pranas, they also have a nadi. So there are different, there are 72,000 nadis in your body. 72,000, out of which 101 are important ones. Out of those 101, one is the most important, which is here it is talking that out of that 101 nadis, Sushumna, one nadi by the name of Sushumna, it goes to the head, and it breaks through the skull and goes out. Now, you can say that there is Ida, there is Pingala, there is left and right, there is yin and yang. But where is this Sushumna? Where is this Sushumna? I know there is right breath and left breath, but where is this Sushumna? When these two balance, you can't find it. You can't see it. Just like you can't see the nadis, this Sushumna also you cannot see. But it is said, it runs parallel to the spine. It starts from the coccyx and it goes upwards. So the energy, as so practice Agnisar, practice Lom Bilom again and again. Balance the Ida and Pingla continuously. You do it for 1 month, it gets balanced. It doesn't take too long. And automatically you will find all the focus going to the navel. And once it is gone to the navel, if enough critical mass is created there as a result of your japa or your exercise, then that energy goes through your lower diaphragm. That is the diaphragm, the skin which is connecting your genitals. First, that is the diaphragm, the bottom of your, between the genitals and your anus, that is the first diaphragm. So that in the center, that is the place, the energy goes down there and then it wakes up. We call it Kundalini, but here we are just saying the Sushumna. So she wakes up and then it starts traveling upwards, because Ida is about light and or heat, and Pingala is about the cold. You are going beyond heat and cold, meaning what? Sukha dukkha samay kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yuddhasva na shochati na kankshati. If you read the commentary of Paramahansa Yogananda, he explains it in this way, that Sukha dukkha Ida Pingla, Labhani Ida Pingla, Jai Vijay Ida Pingla, Na shochati na kankshati idapingla. So when you are in the middle of all these, not meaning what you are in the middle, you are undisturbed by both, then the Sushumna opens up. You cannot forcefully open it. It will open up only when we are undisturbed by the opposites. And then nama taya antakale hridaya atmanam vashikritya yojayeta. And at the end of life, when the time of death comes, at that time a person can using the Sushumna Nadi can attain to Atma, to his own Atma in his own heart. And this is also possible. First, what we talked about was people who have realized while living. Then there are people who have had glimpses. They know exactly what is to be done, like our Params Yogananda. And when the moment comes, they gather all their energies, become samahit in their heart, take the ride on the Sushumna, and the individuality merges into the self. And how much more is left? I have to finish it by next week. Next week we'll go quick. So we'll conclude it here and we'll see it in our next class. Next class is when? Wednesday. If I will send SMS, because there is still a little bit to go, 3 pages. So maybe Tuesday and Wednesday we can have class. Evening. Or Tuesday on Zoom and Wednesday also on Zoom. Okay. Then it will conclude.
Sunday morning, Swamiji?
Sunday morning is normal. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om. This practice of Sushumna Nadi and all this which is told, one should not do it on their own. Always have a teacher who is adept at it, and don't do it by listening to YouTube and all that stuff. It can be very, very dangerous.